All right, next we have a sequence, and we're asked to find a couple things about this sequence. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do when you have something, a pattern or a sequence that you're trying to find the pattern for, is first check addition and subtraction. So from 5 to 400, that's a drop of 100. But if you do 400 minus 100, you do not get 320. So this must be either geometric or neither. So when you think it might be geometric, start at the end of the list, so 256, and divide by the number before it. When you do 256 divided by 320, you get 0.80. Then take 320 divided by the one before it. You get 0.80. Then do 400 divided by 500, 0.80. This is your common ratio. So since you got the same thing, your common ratio is 0.8 or 0.80. So what is the percent of change? Well, there's two ways to think about this. You can think about it logically and say, well, 0.8 is 80%. That means we are losing 20%. Or you guys could set up a formula and say R equals 1 minus P. That's what we know R is. And we know that 1 minus P equals 0.8. So if you erase this so you don't get too confused, if you work backwards and you solve for P, you will find that P equals 0.20. That is the percent that you're losing, or the percent of change, okay? I prefer to think of it like this, though. Take 1 minus 0.8 and see what's left. Then part C says write the recursive rule. So since we started at 0 up here, we're going to go u sub 0, u sub n equals u sub n minus 1. U sub 0 will be 500 because that's our start value. And then times 0.80 because that is our common ratio. Then to find u sub 10, what we're going to do is go to our calculator, type 500, enter, times 0.8. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 53.69. All right. So these last two are not as terrible as they might seem, but they're a little bit more complicated. So this says, suppose you put $500 into an account and you earn 6.5% annual interest and no more deposits or withdrawals are made. So you put in $500 bucks, you don't touch it. So if you get your annual payment yearly, that means one time per year. If you're going to get your 6.5% semi-annually, you're going to get it 2 payments per year, and monthly would be 12 times per year. So what's going to happen is for our recursive rule in the yearly, we're going to start at u sub 0 because it's money, and that's going to be $500. Then u sub n equals u sub n minus 1. This in the parentheses is going to be 1.065 because 6.5% as a decimal is 0.065. If you add that to 100%, you get 1.065. So if you want to find your balance after 1 year, you're going to go u sub 1. So you'll take 500 times 1.065, hit enter. We're looking at 532.50. All right. Now, the second scenario is if you get your payments semi-annually. That means every 6 months, like twice a year. So what's going to happen here is you're going to take 6.5% and divide it by 2 because you get that 6.5% split over the 2 payments. They're not going to pay you twice. So you're going to end up with 3.25% for each payment. So what I would do is take 100%, which means your original $500, and you get an extra 3.25% each payment. Divide that by 100. And what you're going to end up with is 1.0325. So when we write our recursive formula, we're going to get u sub 0 is 500 still. But this time it's going to be u sub n equals u sub n minus 1 times 1.0325. Because you get slightly less, like a slightly smaller percentage. So if you want to find your amount after 1 year, this time you need to go u sub 2. Because you're going to get 2 payments in a year, so if you want your full year's value, you want to go twice. So we're going to take 500 times 1.0325 and hit enter, and enter again. So we have 533.03. So we're making a little bit more money if it's done semi-annually. The last one is monthly. So monthly, you're going to get 12 installments of your interest. So what you need to do is take 6.5%, divide it by 12 months. You're going to get a tiny little percentage. Let's figure out what it is. You'll get 0.542%. So what you need to do to calculate your ratio is take 100% plus that decimal. It's super tiny. It's not a percentage. It's not a decimal percentage. It's like the actual percentage. And divide that by 100. So you're going to have 100.542 divided by 100. And you get 1.00542. So u sub 0 is still going to be $500. But this time u sub n equals u sub n minus 1. It's going to be times 1.00542. And then if you want to find how much you'd have after a year, you need u sub 12 because you're getting 12 payments. And this is after 1 year. That's what you're going to look for. So in our calculator, we'll do 500. 500, enter, times 1.00542, enter. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 533.51. So the best option here is going to be this one because you're going to make more money. If they offer you the same interest rate and a different number of payments, your best option is to take the most payments that you can. The more payments you get, the more compound interest you get. So this is all about compound interest. The reason these numbers are bigger is because you're getting more free money from your free money. Now you guys have work time, so, well, not work time right now, but you need to work on worksheet 1.2 from the packet.